Get your head up, you ain't gonna...
Guys, it's your boy Squints here. It's another episode of A Man and His Podcast. Today I have a very special guest, someone I've been trying to get on for a while. Introduce yourself.
WARHORSE, I'm old, I'm tired, and I work with fucking Gary.
So the first question I gotta ask is, your wife commented on this, and she said that you have this beef with Harry Potter. What is the deal with Harry Potter?
Harry Potter sucks, okay? I'm not talking about the book. I don't care about the author. I don't care about any of that, okay? If you read any of it and you look at who Harry is as a person, there's never not some sort of problem caused by this idiot. And I wish they would expel him I think they do eventually. But literally, he shows up and there's trolls in the dungeons. There's secret caves with snakes in them, all because this idiot showed up. If I had to be in his homeroom, if I had to be in like Gryffindor or whatever, I would be so fucking pissed every day.
So
they literally cause a war at the school because this kid's there. Just get him out. So he was living fine with the Muggles. Like, it's fine. It's fine. You could have had him stay there.
So it's personal beef. It's not beef on...
No, it's because he sucks.
It's
one-sided heat. He doesn't have a problem with me because he's not real. But if he was, I would hate him. And I can't stand the idea that people think that he's like their favorite character or whatever. Whenever, also for all the hardcore Potterheads out there, they don't even need him. They literally don't need him. Okay, that Neville Longbottom kid is also the chosen one. So Harry can literally just go off and like die in the mud, and like it's not even a problem. He's literally unnecessary. It's like Indiana Jones. Whenever they try to stop them from opening Pandora's box, they all would have died by opening the box anyways. They literally did not need to do that. Harry Potter literally does not need to be at the school in order for anything to take care of itself.
So this next question is, a few years ago on Twitter, you had posted something along the lines of, I miss my grandma. WARHORSE doesn't have any more grandmas.
I know what you're going to ask.
Somebody commented, I do not know to this day what was going through their mind. They commented, rest in ass, Grandma Horse?
Yeah. I don't...
What was your first reaction? You fire that tweet off, and then you see a comment that says, rest in ass, Grandma Horse.
You know what, man? Sometimes, especially when I had the face paint on, I would do lots of goofy stuff and say lots of silly things. And then for a nice little humble thing, I would just say something nice or sweet. Or like, go hug your grandma. I'm all out of grandmas. I wish I had my grandma. And then people would still treat it as a joke and say things like that. Did it upset me? No. And I think that was the beginning of my nihilist turn, actually.
I could see that. Like I said, it pops up in my head every now and then, just resting as Grandma Horse, and I'm just like, who says
I have it
that?
saved in my favorites on my camera roll. Yeah,
it's in mine. I'm not gonna lie, it's in mine. And then this next question, the big topic that I was being asked to ask you about is, Jason Klein wanted me to bring up an incident that happened with Outlaw Wrestling where the police showed up. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I was watching. I had already wrestled on this show. It was called Outlaw Wrestling.
Yeah.
The main event was Hooligans versus the Goons, which was a guy named Deadly Dale and Idle Bane.
Yeah.
Versus John Wayne, Murdoch, and Reed Bentley. Okay.
Yeah.
Triple threat brawl around the building. During this brawl, I had a pocket knife on me, and I would like run up like this and hold the knife at them, and then they would like turn to me and go, no, and like back away and stuff. So I kept trying to get them to use my knife in the brawl. Anyways, finish of the match happens. They were supposed to go smash merch tables and stuff, right, and flip and like cause chaos because they wanted the show to go out on like a very chaotic note.
Yeah.
Well, the venue owners did not like that and called the police. So we literally got a ring broken down in 5 minutes. It was, and I'm not exaggerating because Klein will tell you. So it was like somebody was at a house party and smashed a bottle and yelled scatter. It was fans, friends, like wrestlers, everything. That fucking ring was done. 5 minutes. I go outside. Allegedly, I see my friend Frank Wyatt. Allegedly, he's got these chairs and he's throwing them in the back of this truck, right?
Yeah.
Allegedly. And I'm like, because we're breaking the ring down. We're getting the merch out of there. He's throwing chairs in his truck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Frank, those are the venue's chairs. And he goes, I know. Allegedly keeps throwing them into the van or into the truck. Yeah.
And those that have never helped tearing down a ring does not take 5 minutes.
No.
It takes way longer.
No, they've been.
usually.
How long have you been setting this up?
I've been doing this for off and on about
Let me
6
help you
years.
out. Let me help you out. No, I mean you're setting up the tripod and stuff because they've been breaking down the ring for at least 25, 30 minutes before we got started on this.
Yeah.
So it is not an easy process, and I see they're still like
Pulling up the tarp.
the corners are still out there. Yeah.
I think they got the base down. And then this next question is, I had a few. It's going to be more of like a general topic that I want to talk about. A lot of people were asking about WARHORSE.
Yes.
Go into detail about what WARHORSE was and like.
Man, so there was something much more fun about social media for me back then, and things used to actually get traction, and actually people would see your stuff. And I feel terrible for the up-and-coming wrestlers nowadays because it is so much harder to get your name out there, get your brand out there, and make some sort of impact. It sucks. There's not really a good home for this. But back in the day, Twitter was amazing for that. Myself, Danhausen, Effie, Alley Cat, Mance Warner, PCO, Dan the Dad, all of us made like great content. I hate calling it content. I like vignettes and promos and bumpers. That's the words I like to use.
Yeah.
But anyways, pandemic happens, right? Literal shit shuts down the world. All these wrestlers are looking for work and nobody's hiring because it's pandemic. This is within like the first 2-3 weeks. And there's people, like my friends are like getting some of the jobs that they would have hated, worst things you could put them in. And I'm like, what is worst case scenario for WARHORSE? What would that look like? And I was like, what if it was just like he ran a soft rock station, and I've never done a promo where I used my normal speaking voice, much less like a much higher tone or anything. So I'm like, this will be hilarious just because of the juxtaposition of my voice changing. So I literally waited for just the right time. I recorded this thing in my basement. I set up a little desk, set up a nice moving quilt behind me, and I did the intro like normal WARHORSE video, so nobody really knew what the fuck was going on. And they even said people are getting jobs that they hate and despise. And then all of a sudden I queued up the thing. I spoke in like a nice soft voice. And then after I played the song, I started slamming my head against the desk. And people like that so much that I think that's one of the catalysts for like the Cody Rhodes match. But also on top of that, like I did like 15 more WARHORSE videos and sold WARHORSE t-shirts and shit. So, yeah.
So I'm checking out in the ring area, and it looks like they're just about done, which only means one thing. The venue's getting ready to...
You know what that means is that's not my problem.
Getting ready to boot everyone out.
All right, I guess that's kind of my problem. It doesn't matter. It's fine.
So just two more quick questions. I see Sean giving me a look, too. I think it's time to wrap this up.
We'll wrap it up.
And so just rapid fire real quick, just 2 or 3 words to describe the incident. The hook to the face. The turnbuckle hook to the face that ripped your face open.
I wish the scar was worse so that way you could actually see it. The doctor did too good of a job. For all the bullshit I had to go through for it, yeah, it looks too good. I wish it was gnarly.
Second thing.
It is when you get close. But from back here, you can't tell. Anyway, second thing.
Second one, real quick, rapid fire, the AEW Cody Rhodes match. More importantly, having Arn Anderson say your name on television. What did that feel like? Not the match, but having Arn Anderson say WARHORSE.
Growing up, I watched a lot of WCW, and that was what my family watched, and my family did not watch WWF. And I don't have a problem with WWF. Obviously, they won, so good for them. But my family grew up watching NWA and Wrestling of the Chase, like everybody else around here, but they didn't watch WWF. They liked Arn Anderson. So for my uncle who does not watch wrestling anymore, for him to call me and tell me how great that was, and like my stepdad was alive at the time, he told me how great that was. It was nice that like, for my family personally, for NWA wrestler to say that, it meant a lot. So yeah, and every time I see him, he remembers me, and we chat a little bit. So that's nice too.
So then, this final question I ask every single guest this: if there was one piece of advice you can give out there, it doesn't have to be wrestling oriented, just life in general, what would it be?
I think no matter how good or bad things are in your career, in your personal life, or anything, just keep moving forward, because there's going to be times where you want to quit. There's going to be times I think about quitting all the time, but I don't. Especially now, because I have so many fans and so many people that tell me I'm their favorite. Even though the algorithm and stuff is what it is, I don't get featured on like the algorithm as much anymore, but the people still know I'm here, and they still tell me how much they love the match with Cody Rhodes. They still tell me how much they love WARHORSE. They tell me all the things that I do in the St. Louis area, all across planner. I've done a bunch of tours in Europe and stuff. I have fans everywhere. And if I just quit, then what would it? That's not respecting them. But no matter what you're dealing with, just tough it out. It'll be all right.
We were just told to wrap.
It doesn't matter, I guess. Yeah, we're wrapping it up.
We're wrapping it up. That's going to do it for this episode. Let the fans know where they can find you, social media, upcoming shows, stuff to that nature.
You can always find me at St. Louis Anarchy. You can always find me at Glory Pro. You can always find me at Relentless Wrestling out in Washington. You can find me at CSW in Chicago. I go lots of places. I have a lot of things lined up for next year, but at JP WARHORSE on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Blue Sky is the new one, right?
Blue
Sky, yep. And I have a bunch of matches and promos and stuff on YouTube as well.
Awesome. That's going to do it for this episode, guys. We've been told to wrap it up by at least 10 different people.
Yeah.
If you want to, you can leave a thumbs up, a thumbs down, 1 star, 5 stars, like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff.
You can embrace nihilism, too.
I can't pronounce that word, but embrace it.
Nihilism, it's fine.
Nihilism.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
We're saying it for the first time. Peace.